Hello and welcome to another Brett Plays video. This is going to be another tutorial. I'm going to show you how to bring the F14 in as of December. Not only bring the F14 in, but activate the afterburners and the ability to get the extra boost in acceleration. So this is a bit of an update, and this is where we are in December of 2020. So if you're watching this in the future, just check and see if there is an update, because this will be my fourth how-to video. So the first thing to do would be to come to this Flyaway Simulations link. I will have that in the description here. You want to download. This is actually now version 240. As you can see here, I originally started with 220. It has been updated. Press download. Now you have options to either a free download, which means you will be restricted to 50 kilobits per second. Be patient, you get it for free. If you're not patient, you can actually pay for a subscription, which is actually quite hard to read there. So subscribe now for Pro mode. I am using dark mode on mine. Press download, save it. I've actually done that already. So let's have a look at my downloads. It comes down as F14D FSX AV240 zip. So it is a zip file. If you double click on it, you will get a bunch of different files. What you want for Flight Sim 2020 is the inside sim objects, airplanes. You want this folder here, Grumman F14D. So what I would suggest you do is probably actually just unzip this to here. So extract to, I'll just call it the same folder. So I actually got this one back on the 4th of the 12th when I updated. Okay, now we have a folder here. We can use this one as a temporary folder. If you do have Flight Simulator X, I would suggest that you put them in your Flight Simulator X folder. Try and have that in the default area, as in the default location. It'll make it easier for you. You also will need to put the effects in if you are doing Flight Sim X as well. But as far as it comes for Flight Simulator 2020, all we need is this inside folder. So the next thing you need to do, if you haven't already, is get the Microsoft Flight Sim Legacy Importer, so MSFS Legacy Importer. You want the latest file. I will have the link in the description as well. Right down the bottom here, it is version 0230 full. This is what I'm using at the moment. You want manual download. I did download this a moment ago, as we can see back in my downloaded files. Fast if you have paid for it. If not, you got to press slow download. They're saying it's 1 megabyte per second. It's only a 2.1 megabyte file, so it takes 2 seconds. Not very long. Okay, once you've got the F14 file, you want to actually, the Legacy Importer, you want to actually expand that one. So I'll do the same thing, extract. Okay, here it is. Inside here, you want this one with a purple icon. I've already saved it on the desktop for my one that I've already got installed. So I will actually use that, it's the same version, which is the 0230. So I'll open that. Now, as we are using an FSX aircraft, I have imported it to my Flight Sim X, but you can run it straight out of this folder here. If you are going to run it out of your folder there, instead of it automatically going and finding Flight Sim X, you'll have to go to your download files and find it from there. But because it can bring over extra gauges, if you already do own Flight Simulator X, make sure you install it there, because your chances are you will get more gauges over. But it's not a you have to have it. So you'll see a whole bunch of aircraft that I've already put in here. I want the Grumman F14D, which I did on the 4th of the 12th, which is the same as when I actually downloaded this one. Select the folder, it auto-populates the name. I want the Microsoft Flight Sim community directory, it automatically finds it for me. If it doesn't, direct it to it. I will press import. Okay, now it has imported. So if I go to my community folder, which which, you know what, I will actually lower that one. So in here, my community folder, F14D is the file that came over. It has the sim objects, airplanes, and there's that Grumman F14. Okay, so in here though, what we will need to do is, I would suggest engines. You need to click Afterburners. It has 5 levels. You need to fix that. Until Asobo allows us to have Afterburners working, you want to get rid of that. If you want to fix the Afterburner thrust, so this is how it normally would go, and it runs at a 0.85 on the throttle. Press fix. This will change the values. So now it increases, but once you get to that stage of Afterburner, it accelerates a lot quicker. You'll enjoy that. Systems, try and convert your lights. It's always a good thing. The runways, I would actually suggest doing these two. It does give you better control on the runway, and also can put the wheels down for things like the Microsoft Flight Sim X Accelerator Pack F18. If you got that from the MSFS addons.org, that one starts on its belly. Well, if you do these two things, it'll actually start on its wheels. If you have FSX, just import it from over there. You might actually get more gauges as well. We do want to toggle all of the missing, these are BMP files. We want them as DDS. So we'll convert 18 textures here. The model. Now this will actually replace the broken afterburner values. So this will allow the flame to come out. So the further you push your throttle, the more animation of a flame will happen. And this is exactly what you would do in most aircraft. I say most because some have little bits of problems. Okay, so we don't have other gauges now, but what we want to do is toggle them all, and we definitely want to insert custom afterburner script. If you are having trouble with a particular aircraft, make sure you actually look at the creator of this file, Alex Marko's website. I will also put the link in the description for that, of how to get the afterburner working on some aircraft, and also how to get the HUD working, which I'm not going to be doing in this particular video. So I will actually import these. This will take a moment. If you do get an exception, usually the only option to do is to press OK. Okay, it didn't take very long. Now, if you do want the controls to be showing up in the bottom left-hand corner while you're flying from the outside view, go enable full support. Yes, I want to be able to do that. Don't do flight model at the moment unless you know the exact values of your fuselage length and diameter, and you can go in and edit them yourself. Leave those ones alone for now. Cockpit, I want fuel, airspeed, RPM, throttle and flaps. Insert. Yes. That's it. Alright, now we want to go and test. So we jump into Flight Sim and we will actually test this. Okay, now that you've actually loaded in, go to your hangar, click on the Grumman F14D Tomcat. You should be able to see it in your hangar. Now you can actually have a look around. There are multiple liveries for this. There were a few extras that were sitting in the folder, the original download. They are lower res textures, such as Miss Molly and Low Vis, and from memory they don't come across. No, come up as white. So I have previously tried putting these in. And they must have still been loaded in. But any of these others, they look great. All come across. Okay, so interior, we have, rather than a blank screen, it may actually have the green around it. But if we look at the Rio pilot, he actually has a bunch of stuff put on his as well. This automatically comes over now with the LegacyImporter. If you want to be able to do the heads-up display, you will need to follow the tutorial. The link is in my description. It's also in my Discord from Alex. It is a little bit more detailed because this is a reflector projector that goes up onto here rather than just the other heads-up displays. So it had a little bit of extra editing that was needed. But let's give this a quick go in takeoff. Okay, so when you load in, what I suggest you do is you don't press ready to fly straight away, because if you can hear it, the engines will be starting up. You need both engines to start up correctly, and that usually happens by about halfway out on the taxiway. You can also remove a lot of these weapon stores from underneath by removing the weight values in the cargo in the loading screens. So where you put your fuel in and out, you can actually remove the bombs and remove the missiles. But hey, if you like the looks of them, I think you can also change which missiles you have by changing the weight. As long as that store can actually hold that particular weapon. So let it do its little thing. You want to be able to hear both engines start up. Don't click ready to fly just yet. Should actually get a bit of a run out. If you're using an airport where it actually doesn't have a taxiway and starts on the end of the runway, press ready to fly and you will have to start your engines. Wait till you hear both of them going. I have had that happen myself. Other than that, this looks like a brilliant model. Very well done. Good on the developers who made this. It certainly sounds like we've got both engines running now, but one seems to go up and down. Now you may find that your aircraft is also throttle on a fair way. That's why it's struggling to come out here, pressing brakes on and off. So I'm actually going to put it out here, ease my accelerator up, throttle up and down. Looks like we're on. Okay, yep, park brake. I don't have the HUD organised. Yep, these have stayed blank. We look at the Rio seat and yep, it's still the same in here, which is pretty cool. Alright, and back out. What I want to show though is, does the afterburners work? Should do. You get up to the certain amount, there we go. So once I got over there 80-something%, and they look brilliant. And they really look spectacular at night as well. The first flight was at night. And this is how you can actually put in the afterburners and the F-14. This will work the same for most aircraft. You need to do the same thing. When you back off, you can actually have it so that they're still on. There you go, 75% lever, and I've still got flame coming out. Looks great. We do have manual flaps now though. So the automatic flaps like I had in my original video is no longer the case. You will have to actually do it yourself. And that's how you import the F-14. Link will be in the description of how to add the HUD to this particular aircraft, and to others it is slightly different in some aircraft. Thank you very much, HTC. Other than that, have a great day. Give us a like, a comment and subscribe, especially if you want to see when I can add extra videos like this. Cheers!